I don't know how many times I've been asked this before, but this idea of doing a single every single day on a particular movement like the squat seems very, very idiotic to a lot of people. There's absolutely no value in it in terms of hypertrophy, building anything, you're just testing it. That's kind of the general opinion of people out there when they see singles, especially for people that are coming, from the genre of hypertrophy, bodybuilding. It's like singles have no place whatsoever. You're not doing anything, you're wasting your time. And I can definitely see what they're saying when it comes to bodybuilding. But when it comes to strength, when it comes to skill proficiency, when it comes to specificity, doing a single is exactly the sport that I want to play. Even though it looks stupid to shoot free throws in training, I'm working on my technique. Now, when it comes to the front squat and the back squat, a lot of people are going to be like, dude, the front squat and the back squat is not a complex movement. What the hell are you talking about? Like, it's not exactly rocket science. To me, the whole reason why I fell in love with squatting is because it was very difficult for me. And so it didn't come naturally to me. And so when I go away from squatting for an extended period of time, and not just any squatting, like singles squatting, I feel like I lose my groove. I feel like my body forgets how to move with weight. I don't know whether some of you guys realize this, majority will, I guess, but some of you guys might not realize that when you're doing a really light weight, like say 60%, that's a completely different type of core activation that you're doing compared to when you're doing a 1 rep max or a 90%. It's just a different type of bracing. And I feel like when I go away from heavy lifting for a long period of time, I feel like I lose something. And I don't exactly know what it is, but I feel like it's got to do with the coordination, the combination of all these different elements, bracing, the right muscles firing, the upper back firing. Because at a certain level, like if you're lifting 60%, maybe some of these muscles don't even challenge. But when you're doing 90%, some of these muscles really start to kind of get exposed and reminds you of what you need to work on. Now, these singles that I'm doing every single day, they're not, or they shouldn't be. Sometimes I get in trouble, but they shouldn't be 1 rep maxes. They should be kind of like comfortable singles where I come in and I feel where I am. And in a training style like I've fallen in love with, where you are auto-regulating day to day, doing singles is probably the best way to gauge your training because it is very inexpensive. If you were to say replace the singles with sets of 10 are very metabolically demanding. Even like if you do triples or fives or whatever, it's kind of hard because you start to go into the whole subjectivity and the whole, how did that feel? Did that feel good today or worse today or whatever? It's very hard to measure. Whereas with the single, I feel like it's 1 rep. Did you feel like you're in good position or not? And you could probably even count the speed of the rep. Because it's purely tension and it's got nothing to do with metabolism of substrates or waste products in the body. So it's purely the most specific thing to the sport that we're trying to do. And to me, if you're trying to auto-regulate, it's probably the best way to go about it. You come in, you do a single, and then you go, okay, shit, I'm like 20 kilos, 30 kilos away from where I usually am, my minimal weight. And that's probably a good indicator for me to not do a lot of work today. But if I come in right now and I hit 160, 170 on the front squat, then I'm like, damn, I'll move some heavy ass weight today. Probably today is a really good day for me to back off and do some working sets. That's kind of how I've fallen in love with the whole singles thing. And I've done bench press like that, I've done deadlifts like that. It's a really good indicator of how you're feeling today. Because with auto-regulation, with high frequency training, some days, man, you're on the way to the session, you're feeling crap, but then the weights move. So how do you plan? There is no planning in high frequency training. So you're supposed to be gauging every single session on how much work you're going to be doing. And that's kind of how I've trained for a long period of time. Fits with my lifestyle, with the shift work and all that sort of stuff, because it gets into your head. Okay, on Wednesday I have to do this. How am I going to feel then? With my mindset and my training style, I don't really care how I feel. I don't really care. I know once or twice a damn week I'm going to feel pretty good. I'm going to hit 160 on the front squat, I'm gonna hit 190, 180, 200 on the back squat. I'll pull 240 off the floor. And on those days, I'm gonna do some work. On the days that I don't hit those numbers, my minimal kind of like weight, I'm not gonna work hard at all because clearly my body's not ready for it. Or I will do some really sub-maximal accessory stuff, maybe some core work, some sit-ups, some leg raises, something like that. But I'm not gonna do any working sets. That's kind of the general gist of why you're doing singles. And now when I'm uploading these shorts, a lot of you guys are thinking that's the entire session. It's not. In fact, in the last week or two since becoming a father for the third time, I've trained actually quite a lot. I've trained quite a lot, and a lot of these sets have been done after other things. Like yesterday, I did a lot of work, man. I did actually, this is the funniest thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm into bench pressing again. So today, I did 9 sets of 10. I'm in a bit of a craze now with bench pressing. The last time I was excited about bench pressing like this was when my second was born. And actually, the time before that was when my son was born, my first child was born. I don't know what it is, but these periods where I'm on annual leave after having a child, I get excited about doing bench press. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. So I've been doing bench pressing before squatting every other day. So a lot of these sessions that you're seeing, in fact, that 160 front squat that I did the other day with the really kind of upper back rounding, I did that after doing 20 sets of 10, 70 kilo bench press. I did 20 damn sets. I did 20 sets, and then surprisingly, my upper back felt really fatigued. So when I started doing front squats, I was really kind of caving in, and I didn't have the ability to kind of keep the torso upright. So a lot of these days, a lot of these sessions that you guys are seeing, you're basically seeing the top set, and I'm not under any illusion that you're gonna progress by doing singles. There was once upon a time where I had truly believed that if you just did singles every single day, maybe even twice a day, or even 3 times a day, you would improve. And I've done things like this, and I did improve to some degree, purely because you get a lot of volume in, even if you don't want to, when you're doing 3 freaking sessions a day. Even if you're warming up 3 times a day, that's a lot of work. But generally speaking, you're not going to be improving by doing singles. That's just simply testing, gauging, seeing where you are on that day. That's all that is. And that's all I really use it for. So I come in, and that's usually kind of the first time, historically speaking, that's the first thing that I do. I come in and I back squat or front squat, and I see where I'm at. And then judging by the number that I get to, and with comfort, then I go, okay, damn, I hit 170 in the front squat, 180 on the front squat some days, hasn't happened too many times. Right, I'm gonna really get after something here because my body's clearly saying, gimme, 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 gimme. And so I rely on these, let's say, quantitative, markers of training that let me know, okay, today's the day you go. I don't like, booking in advance, okay, on Wednesday I'm going to be doing this. I don't know how on Wednesday I'm going to pull up. I might come in here and struggle with a 100 kilo front squat. And so on that day I'm supposed to push really hard? No, man, I don't like that. I like working with my biology. I like working with what the body has to offer on a given day. And, like I've said many, many times before, we all live different lifestyles. Things happen, kids, family, work, lots of different things happen. And I got into a situation maybe 10 years ago or something like that where I wanted to train, but I found myself like I was always fighting myself. I was always going against the grain. Like, damn, why do I have to play today, man? Why do I have to train today when I've got indoor soccer, man? So like, I don't feel good training after playing indoor soccer for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So these were kind of the thoughts that were kind of brewing in me. And then I saw John Bros, then I saw Ivan Abajayev, and I was like, wow, that's brilliant. I can actually use training, high frequency, and on the good days, I get after it. On the bad days, I just say hi and I leave. And that completely changed the way I trained. It completely changed my enjoyment of training and my relationship with the barbell. And every single day I was kind of skipping in here and looking forward to training because I don't have to fight anybody. I don't have to wrestle against my own mentality. I don't have to wrestle against my own hormones and my own particular situation on the day. I can just go with the flow. Shit, man, you moved some heavy ass weight today, do some back off sets. And I like that. I like that, because I am somebody that believes that it's very, very difficult for you to know exactly what's going on. Some things happen in our bodies that not even endocrinologists understand. Never mind about your backyard freaking experts about hormones and PEDs and whatever. Damn endocrinologists that have written several PhDs, they don't know some things that happen in the body. Some days you wake up and feel like shit. Is it because you didn't eat enough the day before? Is it because you're dehydrated? Is it because of the stress? Is it the cortisol? Is it, who the hell knows what it is? Maybe it's the damn moon impacting the ocean tides, and you're also water, maybe that's impacting you. Who the hell knows? I've just basically concluded in my mind that there are too many variables at play here. And instead of me running around trying to identify every single variable, you know, from keeping a food diary to counting calories to working out how many antioxidants are in the foods that I've eaten the previous day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, to all the products that I've used from shower gels to freaking sprays, deodorants, like there's shit everywhere, right? I've kind of concluded that's too much things to kind of account for. Let me just see every single day how I feel. And if I feel good, I'm gonna get after it. That's basically why I do my singles. They're essentially, if you're working in the medical field, you'll understand this. These are your observations. These are your vital signs. Your pulse, your blood pressure, your temperature, your heart rate, respiration rate. You know, you're kind of like taking all of those things, and that gives you, okay, this patient is well or unwell, needs this, or this. But this is the first thing that we do when you come to hospital. We take your blood pressure, pulse, respiratory temperature. We do all this. This is kind of like your first assessment. That's what a single is for me every single day. I come in and I do my vital signs with a single. And I feel like maybe you can do a double or triple, you can suit yourself, but I've found that a single is the best way. It's not as invasive. That's another medical term. It's not as invasive because it's not taxing. You know, working up to a 80 or 70% single in the front squat, that is a not event. It simply isn't. But it gives me so much information about what this is about today. And so I roll with that. That's how I roll with it. And no matter how many times I try to run away from it, you know, I feel like I always run back to it because I want to know how I'm feeling. And I want to train according to how I'm feeling today. I don't like rocking up to a training session knowing I have to do 5 by 5 at 80% and then slog away for an hour and a half, taking 15 minutes between these damn sets on a day where I feel like shit. That is misery. That ruins training. That is like a big thing, big reason why people piss off with training anyway. It's a shit relationship. You know, it's not working with you. It's working against you. And I don't like having that relationship in training. Training for me it's a beautiful thing. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's a stress reliever. And when I move away from this type of method that I'm explaining here, I feel like training becomes more stressful. And I don't want that to be training for me. I want it to be cool. I come in here and I rock up every single day. No matter what happens, I'll be here every single day. And I'll see what happens after I warm up. A lot of times, like I've said many times before, you feel like shit, but after you warm up, you realize it's a really good day. So there's a lot of fog in our minds. The mind tries to trick you all the time. As soon as you warm up and you get that first sweat, then you're like, okay, these are the cards I've been dealt with today. You don't make that call from the couch. You make it as you've warmed up. Then you really know what's going on. And so even after a warm up, if you get to 120 front squat, you're like, okay, today I'm feeling tired. Chill. That's auto-regulation. Self-auto-regulation. That is your programming. That is everything. And it's going to prevent you from overtraining. It's going to prevent you from, you know, putting your body through something that it does not want to go through. And that's essentially why I'm doing singles all the time. It's something that maybe people that haven't been exposed to weightlifting, strength training from the eastern part of the world, maybe they don't understand that. When they think about bodybuilding, it's like, when would you do a single? For me, it's kind of like I'm viewing training from a different perspective, different frequency. It's a completely different way of living and training, you know, and that's what I like, and that's what draws me back to training every day. If you made me go back to how I used to live, how I used to think about training 10, 15 years ago, there's a probably good likelihood that I would probably give training up altogether because of that turmoil that you go through when you have to force yourself doing shit that you don't want to do. I don't like that. I like, you know, working with my body. If my body doesn't want to go into that, don't go into that. Simple as that. Appreciate you guys. And like always, I'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully the frequency increases a bit more. Everything is well at home. I don't want you guys thinking anything else. It's just, I feel like I haven't been all that talkative in the last week or two for some reason. But once again, even that is also an indicator that I don't force things. If I don't feel like talking about training, if I don't feel like making videos, I don't make videos. Because if I get into a situation where I'm making videos because I have to make videos, then the passion starts to deteriorate, and you start to kind of subconsciously move away from the thing that you once loved because you're treating it as a job. And I never want to make this a job. I want to make this a pure passion. I want you guys to feel the passion through the thing because I'm feeling it. I'm not trying to say some shit over the thing that, you know, you guys can clearly see it's not there. When I feel excited, I'm here. When I'm not excited about talking, I won't talk. Simple as that. I hope you guys appreciate that. All right, guys, catch you in the next one. Peace out.